May I start?
Yes, sir. Live हो गया.
Okay, it's not showing here.
Okay.
Sir, can we?
Yes, start, sir.
Okay, shall we start? Okay, yes, yeah, start. Team members, done. Na?
All that is glitter, gold does not glitter, or all that is wonder, that is strong does not wither, deep roots does not reach breath. The
कैसे की
ashes
आवाज कम आ रही है?
shall be woken, a light from the shadows shall spring, and youth shall be freed and unbroken, boundless again shall be the king. Good morning, all respected dignitaries, our speaker, Dr. Madhavan sir, and all the teachers and all the students. It's a great pleasure for me to witness and welcome you all to the colloquium organized by Department of Physiotherapy, School of Health and Allied Science, Career Point University, KOta. Our Career Point has been developing great minds for more than 2 decades, continuing the tradition of excellence in delivering quality education to empower the boundaries of knowledge to positively impact people's lives. Talking about our department, it was established in 2017, aiming at delivering best healthcare service for the society to excel in health profession. The students would be able to work excellently in a multidisciplinary team or alone as independent practitioner with the best skills, advanced knowledge, and innovative ideas we promote with evidence-based physiotherapy practices. The curriculum integrates different areas of intermediate, academic, and exposure of advanced multi-specialty clinics as well as entrepreneurs. The institute brings together outstanding academic clinical experts, experienced
फिर सुनाई दे
researchers,
रहा?
and the latest facilities to deliver a unique hands-on and multidisciplinary learning experience. Our Career Point has been providing many facilities with all the highly qualified faculty with daily physiotherapy OPD. This professional collaboration with many multi-specialty hospitals in Rajasthan and in India for regular clinical postings of the students. Student development programs and workshops from various advancement degrees. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do. Any session without God's blessing is incomplete. So to seek God's blessings, we will begin with Saraswati Vandana.
Just a minute, Dr. Pushpendra. The YouTube link, it is not being shown. Many of them are messaging me, sir, kindly send the link. 2-3 people have messaged me. It is the same link or you have changed the link? Voice is not clear. Unmute, sir. Please unmute your.
I will send it within a second.
Because 2-3 people are asking.
Yes. New YouTube link I will send within a minute.
Okay, sir. Send me on the WhatsApp so that I can share to them.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
नहीं मेरे को तो भेज दिया. आप तो स्टार्ट करो ना सर, सरस्वती वंदना.
कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावरदण्ड
Moving forward, I would like to call Dr. Pushpendra Yadurvanshi sir to deliver the speech.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Pushpendra Yadurvanshi, along with my team from Point University, KOta, Dr. Kanchan ma'am, Dr. Himanshu sir, and technical staff, would like to welcome everyone to yet another interesting webinar and a known topic to all of us. The Physiotherapy Department of CPU is organizing a series of colloquium for everyone so that one can participate and gain a lot. Today's topic is on Parkinson disease management, recent advances, and impact of artificial intelligence. And on this topic today, we have our respected speaker from AMS Delhi, Dr. Prabhat Ranjan sir, with us. A very warm welcome to Dr. Prabhat Ranjan sir. Age will all know that he doesn't need any introduction. He is one of the most renowned person in our field. Dr. Ranjan sir expected our request within a short time to talk on this topic today. So he will be sharing his knowledge and experience with us over this topic. So without wasting time, I hand over the mic to again our anchor and our age we all are eagerly waiting to listen to you, sir. Over to Kesia.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words. As we all know the importance of today is 29th of August, the National Sports Day, which is celebrated throughout India. This day marks the birthday of Dhyan Chand, a legendary hockey player who brought glory to the nation by winning 3 gold medals. This day highlights the need for sports and development of children in aspect beyond classroom. Physiotherapy aims to keep you moving safely and independently with your body in as good as working condition as possible. I believe you all know and are aware of the Parkinson disease and how important is a physiotherapist's role in it. The key, like we know about it, that what physiotherapy does to maintain and improve the functional ability, independence, to correct the and improve posture and balance, to allow strength and flexibility to be maintained. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. Our speaker, Dr. Prabhat Ranjan Sir, who is working with All India Institute of Medical Science, Delhi as physiotherapist in Department of Neurology since last 20 years. He has completed his bachelor's from Nagpur and master's from Delhi. Dr. Prabhat Sir manage and treat patients with neurological disorder, especially stroke, orthopedic disabilities in home and community care. He has collaborated with multidisciplinary team to provide patient care and comfort, teach patients and their families about self-care treatment. He's member of Delhi Council for Physio-Occupational Therapy and ex-executive member of the Indian Association of Physiotherapists, ex-president Student Association of Physio-Occupational Therapy, ex-president of Dr. C.P. Thakur Health Organization, Nagpur. Dr. Prabhat's accomplishments are many. He has been resource person for more than 75 workshops in India, had been visiting faculties in several colleges around Delhi NCR since last 8 years, had been external examiner for several universities in India, organized 6 international conference of physical therapy AIMS New Delhi, organized and attended workshop on several topics and Delhi. We are very obliged and highly privileged to have him amidst us. I know we all will be eagerly waiting for it, so without wasting much time, let's move forward.
Thank you, Kishia, for a very nice and elaborative introduction. And you rightly mentioned that our topic today on Parkinson's will be dealing with the functional independency of the patients. And thank you, Dr. Pushpendra Yadurvanshi, for inviting me on this very platform. And it is a great pleasure and honor to be here. And I will be talking, as you all know, that the topic is Parkinson's disease, recent advances and impact of artificial intelligence. So I will be sharing the screen. Kindly let me know if any technical glitch is there, because online sometimes what happens that there is some technical glitch is there. So you can unmute and then let me know.
Okay, sir. Please share
So
your
I'm
screen, sir. Okay.
yes, I've shared, and just let me know that. So my PowerPoint is opening. You can see that it is opening.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So PowerPoint is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Thank you. So I will start. Uh,
Yes, sir.
as you all know, Parkinson's disease, it is a disease which is progressive, and it is a disease of brain with clinical features like shaking, stiffness, difficulty with walking, balance, and coordination. Parkinson's usually the symptoms gradually worsens over the time, and as the disease progresses, the people may have a difficulty in walking and talking, as well as they are not able to move. The stages come that they are not able to move and they become bedridden. After before this, there may be sleep problem, depression, memory difficulties, and fatigueness is also associated with this. This is also known as movement disorder. It is known as movement disorder because the movements gets hampered, or you can say impaired. Movement, as tremors are there, slowness of movements are there. So these movements of the body function gets diminished or it is impaired. If we will say see that gender wise, then there are 50% more men are if affected than women, and it is a disease of elderly. Onset of Parkinson's is after 60 years or before 60 years. The percentage is 5 to 10%. Otherwise, 90% is the old age Parkinson's disease. Nowadays, we can see that juvenile Parkinson's is also on. Uh, we can find it through the research because the pollution level, the stress level are leading to early onset of the Parkinson's also, and that is also there for 1 or 2% at now. And this has been linked to the specific gene mutation, and also it is related to the one of the chemical that brain chemical which is released in the brain, that is the basal ganglia, that is the dopamine. What happens controls our movement in combination with the neuromuscular junction. At neuromuscular junction, that is the acetylcholine, and it controls the movement. So when dopamine loss is there, then what happens that the movement is not controlled. Sometimes it is uncontrolled or involuntary movements happen in the body. Sometimes brain bad protein gets accumulated, that is the Levy bodies, and bad proteins also hampers the secretion of the dopamine, and especially this is found in the substantia nigra of the that is a part of the basal ganglia. So Parkinson's disease, there are four cardinal symptoms in the Parkinson's disease. That is the bradykinesia. Bradykinesia is the slowness of the movement. What happens that due to the to increased tone, there is increased tone, and due to that increased tone there is movement slowness. So whatever the performance will be there, the person or the subject will not be able to do it as per the specified time, or the fast movement will be absent. And bradykinesia is somewhat known as the you can say positive sign in the Parkinson's, because what happens, we there is movement, that's why it is known as positive. There is a movement, and due to rigidity the movement has slowed down, but actually the movement is there, so it is positive because the person can at least perform his task either with the help or without the help or with some assistance. So it is depends upon the stages of the Parkinson's. So it has been considered as the positive sign in the Parkinson's disease, because many stages, what happens in stroke, when there is no tone in the muscle, then what happens that the no movement happens. So at least the movement is happening to perform the any functional task. That's why it is known as a positive sign in Parkinson's disease. Then is the muscular rigidity. Muscular rigidity is known to be the negative sign, because the it restricts the movement. It restricts the movement, as you know, the rigidity, in the flexor aspect and the extensor aspect of the muscle group, there is increase in the tone in the both aspects, and this decreases the movement. So rigidity has been considered as the negative aspect of the Parkinson's disease. Then is the resting tremor. Tremor, there are two types of tremor. Tremor is resting. While rest, the hand will be shivering, or the tremors will be there. And when you will do some function, then the tremor will be absent. So while doing any function, if the tremor is absent, then it is known as resting tremor. But if it is existing, the tremor is existing during the function also, then this is known as the functional tremor. So tremors has been classified into the two parts. One is the resting tremor, when during the rest the tremor exists, but while doing any function the tremor is not there, then it is known as resting tremor. Then while doing function also, performing in task also, that tremor is there, then it is known as functional tremor. So postural instability, because what happens that due to the muscle tone, the spine gets stooped from cervical to thoracic to the lumbar region, and there is a slowness in the movement, the center of gravity changes, and due to that, what happens slowly and gradually, postural instability comes, and it leads to often fall in the Parkinson's disease patients. So what happens that rate of progression is there, as we all know, the time will be there, so the rate will the progression will be there. It is said that with the medicines and the physiotherapy treatment, what is very important in the Parkinson's disease, we can at least delay the progression in terms of the functional outcomes. So patient is able to perform the task with the physiotherapy and the rehabilitation. That's why it is the one of the integral and important part in Parkinson's disease subject. So and whatever the symptoms are there, it is not that the same symptoms if two Parkinson's disease patient is there, so their functional ability and the other functional ability will totally differ, and it is not that it may be same. So we have to counsel the patient that whatever the function you are having, in that function only we have to perform the best. So this has to be counseled, and counseling should be given, proper feedback should be given, so that the proper the psychological effect is there, and that the subject already they are depressed with the psychologically, so we have to boost them by giving the proper feedback and the counseling. So in this, what happens, the handwriting becomes cramped, slow, person face lacks the expression, because it is known as mask-like face and animated face. If you look that it is animated or mask-like face, so he will not be able to move the arm or the limb properly. The symptoms often begin in the one side of the body, then later on both the sides, or it may be bilateral also on the both the sides, and slowly and gradually the symptoms becomes more severe. And it is not the same that one side the symptom is severe, then other side also it may be severe. It may differ. One side, left side, if it is severe, then right side it may not be severe, as there is in the brain the secretion of the dopamine is there. And apart from this, there are stages in the Parkinson's disease. Stages has been accordingly defined as per the functional aspect of the subject, how much functional independence is there, and on that only it is that the subject stages has been defined. Suppose stage 1, we will consider a subject of Parkinson's disease with mild symptoms, with tremors is there, slowness of movement is there, but what is there that he is able to perform his daily activity without any hindrance or without any support or assistance. Independently he is able to do the task. Suppose he wants to, one person wants to get up from the chair and walk for 1 meter. Generally it takes around 15 to 20 seconds. Here it may take around 25 seconds, but he will be performing his task very easily and smoothly, and with the tremors and the symptoms. So here we can say, as per the functional independency, that subject is able to perform the task though the symptoms are there, but he is able to perform the task independently. Then stage 2, what happens, that here the length of performing any task is increased. Suppose I am taking a glass to drink of water, then I will take around 5 to 6 seconds. But here what will happen, that he may take 20 to 25 seconds to reach to the glass and then drink, and within a minute he will be able to drink anything, water or anything. But the task will be performed. Here the length of doing any task has increased, the time has increased, the intensity has decreased. And if I am doing the same task, suppose I am doing flexion extension of the hand, in 1 minute I will be doing around 15 to 20 repetitions. The subject will be able to do 10 to 5 repetitions only. So the intensity will decrease and the length of performing the task will increase. This will be the stage 2 of the Parkinson's disease, and the independency level will be also there. The patient will be independent, but he will be taking more time to perform any task. Then in stage 3, it is the mid level of the Parkinson's disease, where there is loss of balance, slowness of the movement is more apparent, falls are common. Patient can live independently, but some of the function he will need assistance. Suppose he is doing some fine movements, buttoning he will be doing dressing, then he will need assistance. Some of the gross movement he may do independently, but some of the movement he will to perform the task he will need assistance, and this can be considered as the stage 3. So later on I will be there on a UPDRS scale. So UPDRS scale generally is very good to identify these things. So this stage 3 will be partial, you can say, independent, and partial dependent. Stage 4, what happens, that patient though is able to do the movement on his own, but what is there, that he will not be able to do independently. He will need some assistance to perform any of the tasks. Suppose he wants to get up from the chair, so what will happen, he will need assistance to get up from the chair. He will get up, but partial assistance will be needed. Partial assistance will be needed to walk. Partial assistance will be needed for any of the activity which he wants to perform. So this, suppose he wants to walk, then he will take the assistance of the walker, though he will be able to walk, but with the assistance of the walker or with the help of anybody. So patients needs daily activity, and in that daily activity he is not able to live independently. Stage 5, this is one of the most advanced stage. Here generally what happens, that the patient movements get freezed, and stage 4 also there is freezing, but the on and off freezing is going on. Here the generally what happens, that the patient is totally freezed, and basically he becomes bedridden, and he needs someone around himself or herself around the clock to perform any of the tasks. Suppose in this stage 5. So stage 5 is one of the critical one. Apart from this, akinesia is there in the Parkinson's. Akinesia is the involuntary movements. involuntary movement where subject is not able to control the movement. There will be a backward dancing like movement. He will be walking, then you must be saying like the subject is doing like this. So this is known as a kinesic movement, means he is not able to control his movement. So that is also one part where the patient face difficulty in performing the task. So in that, what happens that we have to see for the on and off phase. On and off phase is a condition when a medicine is being given to the subject. Then what happens, the symptoms subsides, or there is no symptom at all till the effect of the drug. Suppose a drug has been administered, generally syndopa, dopamine is being administered to the subject with the Parkinson's disease. And if it has been administered, so we have to see how long the effect of the drug is there. If it is around 3 to 4 hours, then after that, what happens, that wearing off continues, and the medicine wearing off is known as the off phase. And in wearing off, what happens, that the symptoms again come back. Accordingly, the on and off phase has been defined. On phase with the drug, when the drug is on, means drug is acting on the subject, is known as on phase. And as the drug starts wearing off and the symptoms come back, then that is known as off phase. So we as a physiotherapist has to plan accordingly, that how much, especially in stage 4 and stage 5, that how much exercise, when to give the exercises. And generally in on phase, if the exercises is performed, then it is having a good, better functional outcome in the subject. So that was the part of the one on and off phase. So apart from the movement disorder, what happens, that there is non-motor functions also in the Parkinson's disease, which is one of the early sign of the motor symptoms. So Parkinson's disease generally thought to be movement disorder, but in addition to motor symptom, most people develop other health problem, which is altogether known as non-motor movements. And these non-motor movements are generally the early signs which is noticed by the family or the close friend, as the subject himself is not able to elicit whether he is having any problem, but the close friend or the family may notice that, oh, you are performing, you are not able to perform this earlier which you are doing. So non-motor functions will be the cognitive changes, where the planning, attention, language of the memory will be absent. Constipation will be one of the things. Early feeling fullness of small meal, suddenly the subject will start having a very small meal. Excessive sweating will be there. He will be having fatigueness. Loss of smell or taste is also one of the, because Lewy bodies do accumulate at the olfactory area, and that due to that, what happens, that loss of smell or taste is there. So mood disorder, depression is there, anxiety is there, irritability is there, sleep disorder is there, sexual disorder is there, urine urgency, frequency, incontinence, vision problem, and weight loss is also there. So these are the non-motor functions, means this is not a movement function. These are the, there is no movement, but also it is the one of the alarming sign in the Parkinson's disease. So if this will be considered earlier, then what will happen, that early treatment can start, and this early treatment can help the subject to lead better quality of life, and they can delay the rate of progression in the subject of the Parkinson's, because the medicine and the rehabilitation part will start earlier. So this will help him to lead the good quality of life. So there is one more scale known as UPDRS scale. That is, U stands for unified, P stands for Parkinson disease, D stands for disease, R stands for rating, and S stands for scale. This is one of the very important scale in the Parkinson's disease. There are 5 rating in that scale. Rating is there from 0 to 4, and it is a very vast scale. Nearly it starts for mental assessment of the, it is a type of assessment tool. It starts from the mental assessment. You can assess the gait, you can assess the speech, how much salivation is there, how much freezing is there in the walking, how much tremors is there, then aphasia, everything can be assessed through this. It is a very big scale, and we should, as a physiotherapist, we should have a thorough knowledge of this UPDR scale while we are assessing a Parkinson's patient. Generally, the score determines the functional outcome. If the score is 0, overall it comes up to 199. Assessing all the functions, or the task which the subject is assessed in this, its overall score is 199. And if one is having a 0 functional score, then, or the you can say UPDRS score, then you can say that the subject will be having better outcome. And if the subject is having 199, total accounts up to 199, then 199 will be the worst functional outcome of the subject. It starts from the new, 0 is considered as the normal, 1 is considered as the mild or slowing or reduction in the amplitude, 2 is considered moderately impaired, define, and early fatigue, may have occasional arrest in the movement. So you can say that stage 3 can be the stage 2 can be scored as 2, but many of the function in stage 3, what be happening, that he will be able to perform independently, and many of the function he will need assistance. So stage 3 stage 3, when you will assess through UPDRS, then you will be able to know that what will be the functional outcome of certain things, and what will be the functional outcome of the other things, where he is independent and where he is dependent. Then is the stage 3. Stage 3, where severely impaired, he is having very difficulty in performing the task. So this can be also assessed through, and when the performing any task with very much difficulty, this will be considered as stage 3. And stage 4, what happens, the subject is having difficulty in performing the task, means his movements are freeze, he will be bedridden at that time. So stage 4 is one of the severe condition in the stage 4 UPDRS scale. 4 also will be the severe condition, means stage 5 will be considered as rating as 4. So as I said, that it is a comprehensive tool to account for non-motor function such as mental behavior, mood, performing, ADL, and motor activity. These are being assessed in the Parkinson's disease, and this is done through a interview. A set of questionnaire is being prepared, and that questionnaire, accordingly, the task is being performed, and the subject performance, the scoring is being done. So this I have to like. So when the management comes, physiotherapy management, we have to focus on the neuroprotectant and increasing of the endurance as well as performance of the dual task. What happens that for a subject, as the progression grows, the subject is not able to perform the dual task in Parkinson's disease. This is becomes very difficult at times. So starting from simpler exercises, we have to go to the complex exercises, so that if the subject is able to perform the simpler exercises, then dual task. Suppose a person is walking, and you will ask him what is 4 plus 3, he will have a fumbling, and he will be as if he will fall, because his mind will change, his attention will change, cognition will change suddenly if you will ask some question, and it leads to dual task. So one task he is doing in the brain, another the physical. So he is not having proper coordination between them, and what happens that it may lead to the fall of the subject. So we have to go from simpler to complex tasks, so that he can be asked to do the dual task to improve the coordination and the balance between the physical and the mental aspect. Or any task in physical also, if you will ask the subject, he is walking and then catch a ball, so he will not be able to catch the ball, because what happens that he is not able to coordinate the two movements, he is not able to have that reflex activity, so he is walking, while walking he can catch the ball. So physiotherapy can be given in the group also, and the group has been found to be very much effective in the Parkinson's cases, because it motivates them, it increases the cognition level. And group therapy session, if if you are having a patient 2 3, then try to have the group therapy, so that they equally feel better. It needs to social interaction also between them, and it gives a motivation to them in getting better outcome of the subject. So drugs, as I said, that drugs is also being given medical in medical management, and to control the non-motor symptoms, to control the motor symptoms. Generally dopamine is being administered to those subjects. Apart from that, some drugs other are there, that physicians part, and then physician, according to their assessment and their investigations, they do prescribe the proper dosage of the drug, whatever is needed to the subject Parkinson's disease. Then one surgical process is also there, especially this is very much helpful in stage 4 or 5, when there is a lot of freezing in the subject, he is not able to do the task even with the drug also. He is having difficulty in performing the task. That surgical process is known as deep brain stimulation. Deep brain stimulation can be can be said as a synonyms is the DBS. D stands for deep, B stands for brain, and S stands for stimulation. What happens? DBS is a surgical process where the electrodes are implanted surgically into the brain, any part of the brain, as the surgeons feel in consultation with the neurologist. They implant in the electrode in the brain, and one electrical device is implanted in the chest. It is in the chest, and through a remote control the programming is being done. A program is being set, and it do take time to program them, that what amount of stimulation is to be needed, so that his activity, that what happens, that it controls the area of the movement, and it helps in work in same way as the dopamine works. So it needs a lot of trial for a week, for a 10 days, to set that exact programming. And as per the progression also, within a year or 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, the subject has to come back to the doctor, and again the reprogramming is done, because progression is also there, that is not stopped. It will not stop also with the DBS also, but reprogramming can be done, that the doses and can be set, that how much the stimulation can be given, so that his movement can he is able to perform the task, and his slowness of movement and the rigidity decreases. So DBS is also one of the thing which can be considered, and with DBS also we should know that how much the this programming has been done, and accordingly we can also plan the exercises, so that we have to maintain the flexibility, mobility of the muscles. So our part is that to maintain the musculoskeletal flexibility, minimize the deconditioning of the chest, because stooping posture is there, diaphragm is not working. So we have to work more on the extension and rotational exercises, so that all the thoracic expansion is there, and conditioning of the chest with the increase in the vital capacity should be there, and we should encourage the subject to lead a very active life. And our role is also to prevent the contracture and deformity, as we do in many of the cases. So our main aim is to maintain the mobility, flexibility, strength, gait speed, aerobics capacity, and definitely these exercises leads to good quality of life. I will explain you some exercises through a video which I had made, that what are the exercises which can be performed in the subject of Parkinson's disease, so that generally led a lot of exercises, but I have focused here on the endurance, how to build the endurance through in the subject, and which will help in muscle strength also, which will help in better coordination of the subject also. So yeah, just I will play a video. Let me know that if you are able to hear or not. If any technical problem is there, then just let me know. Hello, I am Pratap Benton, and I'm a neurophysiotherapist. I am here to explain about some of the strengthening exercises for the Parkinson's patient. Because it has been observed that as the time goes or you grow older, the muscle strength lowers down. And especially in the cases where there is some disease, then it has been observed that it is much weaker than people of similar age with no any other neurological problem. In Parkinson's also, this happens, and the subject who is suffering from Parkinson's are having a weaker muscle in comparison to the other individual who are not having any neurological disorder. So we can go for this training program. For that, some points has to be taken care. One is that there should be a suitable environment. For that, we have to make sure that proper support is there so that one should not fall. The symptoms should be well within the control. Uh, Suppose if the subject is having on phase, then he will be able to do the exercises properly. But as soon as he goes into the off phase, then he will have some problem. The exercises should be done 3 times a week. Take a rest in between a day. One day you do the exercises, the other day you take a rest so that the muscle doesn't become so much of a key thing. One thing or more is important that the exercises should be done at any individual of Parkinson that the pace should not be much higher or much lower. Whatever pace he is having or he is generating himself, at that pace only the exercises should be done. So now I will demonstrate what are the simple exercises for the strengthening of the muscle. That is. So take a chair. The chair should be firm on the ground and make sure that it doesn't slip while getting up. Initially try to have the chair with the armrest so that the subject who is suffering from Parkinson's can take the support of my lateral armrest,
and then he can get
in
up.
order to get up. This exercise should be performed 10 times at a time, and you can make a set of 10 repetitions. 10 set, then take a rest, then 10 set, then take a rest, and then 10 set. So we can do it in this way. Take the support of the armrest. With the support of the armrest, the subject will get up, and then again he can flex his back and then sit down. Like this, he has to perform 10 repetitions, and slowly and gradually as the time overcomes and he is feeling confident, the subject, then he can stand up without the armrest, help of the armrest, and then sit without taking the help of the armrest. In this, we can adjust the height of the chair, where we can start from the comfort level of the subject. If we have to make the height of the chair higher for his comfort level in order to perform the sit to stand exercise, then keep the level of the chair higher. Slowly and gradually we can lower the level of the chair in order to build the muscles of the lower limb. This may help in developing the balance of the subject. So for that, take the support of the chair. The chair should be firm on the ground, it should not slip. Stand upright, look in front, take the support of the chair, and then go on your heel and then slowly come down. They do it for the 10 repetitions, then down, 10 repetitions, then down, then take a rest, again 10 repetitions, then take a rest, then again 10 repetitions. This will help in developing the muscle of the calf as well as also help in getting the balance movement while walking. It's standing, and that is lateral step up. So keep one of your leg for stepper, and then with the help of your muscle power, the body weight, just get up, hold, and then come down. Then hold, come down. This also 10 repetitions. Wait for some time, 10 repetitions, take rest, and then 10 repetitions. If you are not able to do this exercise independently, as there are some stages in the Parkinson, stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, to stage 2 or 3, sometimes may need some support. So keep a chair by your side, or you can take the support of the wall, stand against the wall laterally, and then put the one leg on the stepper, and then with the help of the support, you can do this movement. This will help in gaining the strength of your quadriceps muscle, as well as your calf muscles, as well as your front foot muscles. So this will help you in gaining balance also. Exercise is sliding down, or you can say the half squat. Take the support of the wall, put the leg little bit front.
Support of the wall is taken to expand the thoracic region.
Our body
Sleeping posture is there,
and is touching the wall. Just slide down, and it should be as such that it should not cross over your toe, greater toe. It should be near the toe or about at the parallel to the toe. It should not be in front of the toe. So get down, then up. If any problem in doing independently, you can take support of the wall, stand like this in the wall, and then go up, and then go down, then go up, then go down. This also 10 repetitions, take rest, then 10 repetitions, take rest, then 10 repetitions. Back in middle of the
so these are the endurance exercises with the help of the therapand.
squeeze.
Therapand should be
Make sure that it's
nicely
not squeezed, and wrap in your hand. Put it in a such a
nicely
fashion
wrapped,
that the tension is developed
firm,
in
so it
between.
should not slip from the hand.
Tension
So this
is
is the
developed.
method. So you wrap in the hand and make a tension.
So now I think that the tension has been developed. Take the flatter part and then put it in the middle of your both leg, and the tension is developed. So keep your arms straight, sit upright, and then flex your elbow. In the meantime, try to squeeze your blades, scapular blade, and then open up the chest. This we can do it 10 repetitions to strengthen the upper muscles. Like this from the back, and the scapula will squeeze, both the scapular blades will come together, the chest will open up. Also done. For the required strengthening, put the hand in the middle so that it should not slip. Put your hand straight, and then slowly take a 90-degree straight, then down, then other hand straight, then down, then other hand straight and down. It should be done 10 repetitions, but if you are any of the subject is not able to complete the repetition of the 10, then 5 sets also can be done. Then further we can proceed bilaterally also. Put the band underneath your foot, stable, and then bilaterally we can proceed. Then we can also do it for the elbow. Tighten the band, and then up. Flex your elbow, straighten up. Flex your elbow, straighten up. Flex your elbow, straighten up. Same this way, flex your elbow, straighten up, flex your elbow, straighten up. This can be done 10 repetitions. Not able to perform, then make a set of 5 also, so that slowly and gradually the subject can progress for the 30 repetitions per 10 seconds. Start. So now for the strengthening of the lower limb, suppose you want to strengthen the muscles of the lower limb of the right side, and how we can put the TheraBand, we should tie it over the leg which we want to strengthen in such a manner that it should not slip. Then the other end should be at your other leg. Put it in the middle in a such a way that attention is developed here. So put it here. You can either you can hold with your hand, or you can just put it underneath the chair. Hold it firmly with this leg and then lift up and down. Lift up and down. Lift up and down. 10 repetitions this leg, and the 10 repetitions after tying the same manner with this leg, and in that set you can do it for 30 repetitions in a set of 10. Then this exercise can be done in standing position also. We can take a hard chair so that we have to see that it should not slip. Otherwise, on a bar, any bar is there, we can tie this. Just this is for the demonstration. I'll show you that we can tie it underneath the chair, one end, and the other end should be tied at the leg which we want to strengthen it in such a fashion that the tension is developed here. So this way, in front of the chair, back, front, back, hold it, and front, and we have to stand upright, back, and up, back. This can be done for both the legs, one by one, 10 repetitions, take rest, 10 repetitions, take rest, and 10 repetitions. So when you go through the bands, there are several types of band. This is the moderate one. We can start with the low resistance band also. The red one is the low resistance, and the yellow one is one of the very low resistance. This yellow one is having very low resistance. Then heavy resistance is the blue, and the black one. Black one I'm not having, but blue I'm having. The blue and black one, as per the requirement of the subject, we can introduce the band, TheraBands. And this TheraBand exercise is very good in strengthening, and especially in the subject who are in stage 2 or stage 3 of the Parkinson's disease. There it can be helpful. Stage 1, it is very much helpful. So we can try these TheraBand exercises also, but please take care that the patient is stable. The object which we are using is stable. There is no chance of falling, and the environment should be very much cordial for the subject. Apart from strengthening, we can go for stretching also, and stretching of the trunk is very important because this becomes stiff, and as this posture is stooped, then this restricts the movement. So we can do this stretching. A very simple stretching exercise is there. We can lie on the mat. We should lie on the mat. Flex both the knees. We have to flex both the knees, and when we are rotating the lower limb towards the left side, our neck should go towards the right. Then again, if it is going to the right side, the neck should go to the left side. This way we can stretch. Other way, we can put the hand underneath the head. Second step, we can do that. This will stretch the pectorals as well, and then we can stretch the lower limb, and then we
can take the head to the opposite side. If we are taking the limb to the right side, then the head should go to the left side, and we should make sure that our scapula as well as the elbow is not lifting up and it is stick to the ground as much as it is possible. There are many other exercises. These were the simple exercises which can be performed with standing and the stretching. Then a lot of exercises regarding to balance is there, and for that specific those exercises we should consult our physiotherapist or the treating doctor so that he can refer to the proper neurophysiotherapist. So neurophysiotherapists are much more oriented about these exercises, and they will guide you well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So this was the exercises which I explained it. Just a part of exercise was there. Apart from this, we can have the Frankel exercises for the coordination in the subject whose coordination is severely impaired. Then that time coordination exercises like Frankel exercises should be given. Gait training exercises to be given. For gait training, we can use the obstacles in between the cadence and the stride so that the initiation of the movement and the gait improves in the subject. So tandem walking can be given. Tandem walking is walking on a straight line with 1 foot ahead, 1 foot ahead. So this will also help, because those are the general exercises. So I have not explained the exercises which were a little bit different. I have explained so that you can get an idea that apart from those exercises, what exercises can be given to the subject for the increasing of the endurance to improve the balance and the coordination. Because if you will increase the endurance also, then what happens, the subject's balance improves. So we have to work on those aspects also, because as we will increase the endurance, what happens, it decreases some amount of rigidity, and when the amount of rigidity decreases, the flexibility, mobility, and the strength increases with increasing in the aerobic capacity of the body also. So these are the exercises which we can do, and apart from those exercises, now we come to the second part of this talk, is that impact of artificial intelligence, the Parkinson's disease, as we all are now entering into the era of telemedicine, tele-rehab, and tele-education also. So now we are teaching, we are getting education through this virtual reality, or you can say this is the part of an artificial intelligence. So what is artificial intelligence is that computer science defines artificial intelligence as a study of intelligent agent, any device that perceives its environment and takes action that it maximizes the chance of successfully achieving its goal. So a device is there which device interprets the external data, and accordingly it interprets the data, external data, and accordingly gives the response, is known as the artificial intelligence. So if you will define it, you will characterize the definition, then it is a system ability to correctly interpret external data, to learn from such data, and to use those learning to achieve a specific goal and task through flexible adaptation. So there is flexible adaptation. Suppose you are walking, so adaptation is there as per the movement of the subject, and this adaptation helps the subject to improve the functional ability and task in the Parkinson's subject. So before, how it is helpful, many of the researchers have proved, and with the test before that, simple test can be also performed. There's the balance and gait. You can perform by doing the Bugs balance test, time up and go test. So you can see that how much the subject time time tug test, time up and go test is known as tug test. Also means getting up from the chair, from walking 1 meter and then coming back. Generally it takes 15 to 20 seconds, but if it is taken more than that, suppose 50-second one is taking, or 2 minutes they are taking, assess that pre-treatment, post-treatment. Pre-treatment it was 2 minutes, so post-treatment it came down to 1 minute, then that means it has improved. UPAD RSS scale, functional scale can be assess widely in this that how much helpful is the virtual reality with the artificial intelligence, and accordingly functional assessment gain all scale set can be assessed before the treatment and after the treatment. So suppose I will give you just an example that suppose you want to go for the artificial intelligence with virtual reality for the gait. So what happens that if you will see here the subject one, this is the if you will go number one, this is the one you can see here. Number one is the 6 by 10 foot treadmill. A treadmill is there. Then 2 3 8 by 8 rear foot projection. These are the projection camera which will help in giving the virtual reality, as well as the 7 motion camera is there, which helps in giving a better adaptability, or it interprets the data the nicely, and accordingly the interpretation is being exerted through the artificial intelligence. Then a harness is there for the safety purpose. Initially the harness is applied. As the patient improves, the harness can be taken out or weaned off. So I will show you video of this, that how we can this will give you a better idea. This video will give you a better idea that how this is being used.
Sandy Williams is buckled up and ready for action. It looks and feels like she's part of a video game, but it's actually high-tech rehab for her Parkinson's disease.
We know in neurorehabilitation, you have to challenge patients for them to get better. And so this provides a very safe environment for that to occur.
The virtual reality treadmill has 2 belts, one for each foot, and a base that moves to mimic different surfaces. It can also react and adjust to a patient's movement, and a wraparound video screen completely immerses the patient into a real-life scenario.
When I go over like a little hill, you feel it in the machine.
Rather than just having the patient walk, or an individual walk up and down a standard biomechanical track, now what we can do is we can change the environment in a very dynamic fashion.
Special programs are designed to work on specific skill sets while providing positive feedback. During weekly appointments at Cleveland Clinic, Sandy works with her therapist on gait and increasing stride length by touching her toe to a box. Other times, she's asked to target birds and butterflies while walking. This helps with balance, and it satisfies that competitive spirit.
I enjoy doing the birds and the butterflies and swatting them down and killing them. Not that I enjoy the killing part, but I do enjoy the challenge of, can I get them? I know once I
Here
go
she is
down,
doing the dual task.
She's
walking also, she's
so
hitting the bird also. Now she is able to walk without the harness, so it has improved her. So that rear projection camera and all that has given a better impact, that how she couldn't walk, and the dual task also she was performing. That was artificial intelligence, that how it was coming in, the data was being being interpreted by the camera. So this was the for the gait, and how it works. It works as you all know that neuroplasticity is one of the concept, that is that you use it or lose it. When you are using it, you will gain. If you are not using it, you will lose. So we have to use our brain. Whatever is there, we have to use our brain ability, and that ability is used by the feedback, by the practice, by the repetition. So as far as we will be doing the practice, as far as we will repeating the movement, the brain will also adapt those things, and those changes will happen, and this will reflect in our movement also. So with Parkinson's disease, these do affect. So that's why it has been said that we have to use as much as we can use the things, and this happens in the virtual reality and the artificial intelligence, that we have to use as much as we can practice that. So how it works, that artificial intelligence or virtual reality, with the help of virtual reality, how it works, we can see that there are sensors which do help in correctly interpreting the data. So we will see through this another video at how it helps.
The more I exercise, the better I feel.
Like most Parkinson's disease patients, exercise eases Mary Sletter's tremors, halted gait, and lack of balance. She recently took part in a UCSF
So you can
study
see
to see if
that she
special
is
video games could replace her
rotating
regular
herself, and
exercises.
that is interpreted by the data
The
that are on the
therapeutic
screen.
games are the result of a marriage between game developers and scientific researchers.
Well, UCSF had developed a series of exercise programs for patients with Parkinson's. And they asked us if we could actually make a video of it. And we said, there's this new thing called the Wii. Why don't we make interactive games?
UCSF researchers thought video games might be a welcome change of pace from physical therapy, which can be tedious.
People very much like doing the games. They found them engaging, fun, and therapeutic.
But developing games that would know if patients were using the right muscles in the right way was tricky. Health games need to detect the player's movements much more precisely than their consumer counterparts.
So there's 3 different devices that you need to be able to sense where you are in a particular space. One is an accelerometer.
An accelerometer, gyrometer, and a
Another one is a
magnetometer are
gyroscope.
3
Which direction am I pointing? And then thirdly, you need something like to say, okay, I need a rock solid north, and that's a magnetometer.
These 3 technologies enable smart devices to do this. To make the technology more accurate, the developers created suits with 9 built-in sensors.
So this is the wire sensor.
The
Then
battery
this
operated
was cumbersome.
suits were
Then they went
awkward
to
and
the
cumbersome.
wireless sensor.
So the developers turned to camera technology.
It's bathing you in infrared light, and then taking that information and using some very clever software to say, you just raised your hand.
The camera technology does not need to be worn, but it's not as accurate as the sensors.
Each one has their pluses and minuses, and we're looking at actually trying to perform a fusion between those 2 technologies.
The UCSF study showed that despite their physical limitations, Parkinson's patients could successfully play the games at home. And they did them more often because they enjoyed them and they helped.
It was a fun way and an easy way to exercise right in my own front room at any time. I felt better. I felt more normal, more fluid, looser.
In fact, the study found that after playing the games for 12 weeks, 65% of patients had longer strides, 55% had increased gait velocity, and 55% also reported improved balance.
The hope is that if we can engage people in physical activity early in the disease course, that we might actually be able to delay progression.
The therapeutic games could be available to the public as early as next fall. For Smart Planet, I'm Sumi Das.
So early physical activity may delay the progressions. Through this artificial intelligence and all that has been seen. So now this can be helped. This artificial intelligence, virtual reality can be help you as a sensor technology with the development of sensor technology as well as cloud computing. Cloud computing is that you can save the data and you can open it anywhere in the world. Where are you? It is not that you have to carry your own laptop or anything. So it will be saved, and you can see the performance if you are traveling also, so you can see the performance here, or you can anywhere else you are there, so you can compare those performances, and that the data is saved. So this will also helps. Then internet, mobile devices is there, e-health is coming up, mobile health, telemedicine, tele-rehab, tele-physiotherapy in this pandemic. Also, we are seeing that more of tele-rehabilitation, tele-physiotherapy is going on for the benefit of the society. So these all things will come up in coming days, and I think next coming decade, and especially the students who are here, they should be much aware of the things, especially what the rapid development in the technology is happening, because this will be going to be one of the there will be sea changes in health sector also. And now the things that we are that the people are talking, that electrocardiogram, electromyography can be done. So patient will be at home and doctor will be seeing this ECG and everything at his own place. So that will be the possibility coming up. So things, those such type of devices, artificial intelligence researches are going on. So it will be very much helpful for the in the health sector. So please, students who are here, at least you uh, be aware of the things. Do read, do study, because the change, there will be see changes in coming decades in the health sector. Apart from this, there we are in terms of Parkinson, we can measure the tremors also. These type of devices, smartwatches has come. We can measure the initiation pattern of the lower limb, cadence, stride, through these artificial intelligence, which can interpret the external data, and then we can internally it can save that and let us know that what was the exact movement intensity, or the you can say repetition. So tremors, if it is happening in 1 minute, 50 tremors is happening, so after the treatment, how much it reduced or how much it increased, this can be measured, and this measuring will help in a better treatment protocol, and will improve the research quality, and will ultimately help the subject in gaining the good quality of life with better outcome. So thank you everybody, thank you for the patient hearing. Hope I was very much helpful to this lecture is helpful to you in terms of managing the Parkinson's disease with advancement of the technology. Yes. Yes, Dr. Yadvanshi. Dr. Pushpendra.
Sir, yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Pushpan sir is just joining. Please, sir. Just a minute.
Okay.
Yes, sir. There is a some query. Kesia, elaborate the question. Then we resolve the query. Continue,
Yes,
Kesia.
sir. Am I audible?
Audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes. Yes, sir. There was a question in the chat box, and it was, can you please tell about direct and indirect loop?
Direct and indirect
Loop.
Loop.
loop in the Parkinson's disease.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Better for this. I think I'm not having better idea of this, so I will not be able to explain it to the mark.
Okay, sir.
Any other question is there?
No, sir. No more.
Okay.
There is some good chat from the audience and participant. There are a very nice interaction session, very elaborated session. We got the nice chat, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Medicine adds days to life. Physical therapy adds life to days.
Yes.
I feel privileged to be a part of this and to gain knowledge. We are very thankful to you, sir, for your valuable time and sharing your knowledge with us. Moving forward, I would like to hand over the mic to Miss Kanchan, ma'am, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and experience. Over the years, I'm sure today all the participants have learned and achieved a lot of you from sir. Lastly, I would like to thank each and everyone, starting from director, my team member, and all the participants for making this webinar a successful. With a positive ray of hope, this period of coronavirus pandemic may come to an end very soon, and we all can safely come out and go back with our normal life as before. Stay safe, stay healthy. One more note is there. All the participants, your e-certificates will be sent on your registered email ID very soon. Thank you, sir. Over to Keshav.
Thank you, sir. Again,
Thank you.
a
Thank you.
very informative session in short duration and short notice. You accepted, and we all family of the Point University Kota very heartfelt thanks to very nice and interactive session. I hope every participant learn a lot from the Parkinson. Those you give the shadow of the neurology in the Parkinson. Thank you, sir. Once again, me and my team members, we all heartily thanks to the for this wonderful session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pushpendra, and all the faculty members for inviting me. And it was really a great pleasure and honor to be on this platform. And hope that I am able to deliver something fruitful to your students and the participants here.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.